So Twitter is dead. Well, actually, it's complicated. It's a complicated situation. And Reddit is in a crisis. And my TikTok feed is broken.
Road is not for best. Road is not for best. Road is not for best.
As we all know, the apps that we use on a day-to-day basis are all mostly owned by, let's say, a specific genre of man. They're quite smart, they have that reformed incel look, they're very pale, and every time they attempt to make a joke, it sounds AI generated.
Her name is May, like the month, but with an E at the end.
Thanks for spelling my name, Elon.
Mom, do you remember?
While Fast and Furious's tagline is, never give up on family, ours is similar, never give up on the family of apps.
Oh, and let's not forget, they're worth billions. There must be an easier, shorter way to say all that description. A term for this genre of man. Dork? Nerd? Ignoramus? Dweeb? Anyway, those billionaire dweebs, recently, they've been fighting amongst themselves. Oh, the billionaires are fighting. They're fighting, the billionaires. It feels as if we're the mere pitiful Grecian mortals looking to the heavens as the gods fight amongst themselves, and we have nothing better to do but watch. The social media apps that these billionaires are in charge of, I think we can all agree that they're starting to feel a little bit different. Sir, a second public discussion social media platform has hit the internet. Oh, and the two CEOs want to fight in a cage fight. What does it mean though? Why am I so invested in which app wins the war? Which billionaire wins the fight? Why is there even a fight in the first place? Is this what social media is now? Watching the CEOs fight amongst themselves? And why am I spending so much time on TikTok nowadays? And why can't I view more tweets? 600 tweets sounds like a lot, but it's really not when you're cripplingly addicted to the feeling of pixels on the skin. Part 1. Elon's Twitter downfall. Sorry, no, X. Elon's X downfall. Imagine you film a whole video about one company, and then the day after you film it, they change the name of the company. Oh my god. Alright, just bear with me. We need to talk about the billionaires. You know the ones. Number 1, Mr. Musk. This man, oh my god. Elon has made himself the target of the world's hatred for quite some time now. Finally, a collective cause that everyone can get behind, regardless of class, race, gender, ethnicity. We can all agree that this man is not a good look for the human race. It's got to the point where the only people really still defending Elon are the weird nerds who are, let's say, a bit lost in the sauce. Elon's fans like to believe that, every mistake that he's making is actually a part of this big, 4D chess game. The normies, they just don't get it. Elon is so smart, he planned to lose 50% of the revenue. It's all the big master plan. If Elon pissed in a cup and gave it to one of his fans, they would say,
"Oh, piss. Why didn't I think of that? Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for the piss. Thank you."
The man has always been, a hot topic, a controversial hot topic. Okay, if you're unaware of all this, or simply just don't have a Twitter account, don't get a Twitter account. It's not worth it. Don't do it. In October of last year, Elon bought Twitter for 44 billion big boy buckaroonies. A large investment, a hefty sum, a small humble loan.
I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan.
Hey Elon, you could have spent that maybe, on something a bit more. How about, we'll put a man on Mars in 10 years. No? How's that going? How's that going, Elon? Elon has had a bit of a public downfall. You know, everything he does is ripped apart by the masses. He's like a modern day, there is no historical equivalent to this man. He really is a phenomenon. And look, I'm not in business to do a whole biographical deep dive of a man I find cringy. I did that once with James Corden, and my synapses, they still haven't recovered yet. I'm going to keep this stuff relevant to current events, relevant to the video topic. This is not a biographical deep dive. Elon's personal downfall is a whole video in itself. A video that has already been done by my bestie Herbie. He borrowed my corkboard for it, and it looks amazing. Go watch that if you want to know more about the Elon phenomenon. Anyway, nobody likes Elon. Why? Well, because Elon has always been cringy, like since birth. Doctor, this baby's a little weird looking. There's this one clip of Elon that I love. You know, it just summarizes his entire existence.
My parents are traumatized by this whole experience. Although there's been so many times that, right, I'm getting on a plane to England and I'm never going to see you again.
Really?
No. No, not really. No.
Ooh, it makes me shudder, that video. Oh, it's horrible. I'm never coming back. Really? No. No. These shoes kind of hurt to wear. I'm going to take these shoes off. Okay, dramatic cut to July 1st of this year. Something in the algorithm has changed. When scrolling through Twitter for a bit, people are eventually met with rate limit exceeded. And then immediately people start complaining. It starts trending on Twitter. I swear, under Elon's command, this kind of thing on Twitter, it happens once a month. Elon does this random, unexplained, weird thing that doesn't really make sense. And then people immediately jump to conclusions and start saying their goodbyes. They pull out the gifs of the Titanic sinking. They start linking their Instagram in case anyone wants to follow them. Everyone thinks this is the end. I just say goodbye to all my Twitter friends. And then by some miracle, you know, it's all back to normal the next morning. Under Elon's Twitter, we're just so used to the fact that it could end at any moment. It's really a bad look if the social media that you're in charge of has a false alarm shut down every couple weeks. All I'm going to say is this would never happen on Pinterest. Never. After a lot of confusion about the rate limit thing, Elon lets the people know. To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day, unverified accounts to 600 posts a day, and new unverified accounts. That basically translates to, you know, if you don't pay for Twitter Blue, you can only read about 600 posts a day. And that basically translates to, oh god, this company's losing a lot of money. We're going to have to put some basic necessities behind a paywall. Oh god, please give us money. Please. This is how you kill a social media platform. No one is going to pay for something as simple as seeing tweets. It's making the platform unusable unless you pay for it. In reality, no one's going to pay. They're just going to get tired of this bull and leave. That's what's happening. Say you went to a supermarket and the people with the trolleys, they said, there's actually a monthly charge that you have to do to get a trolley if you want to use a trolley. I'm not going to say, oh yes, sign me up for the trolley fund. I'm going to leave and go to a better supermarket. I believe because Elon, you know, is so rich, the idea of paying $8 for something, he doesn't care. I mean, it's nothing. It's $8. It's nothing. You'd pay $8 for a frappuccino, you woke liberal. That only lasts you 30 minutes of whipped cream sucked through a straw. Just pay for Twitter. Come on. First of all, I never heard of a frappuccino costing $8. You moron. Maybe if you get the biggest size and all the pumps and the caramel sauce and all the cream, but that would taste disgusting, just gulping down sugar. Ugh. But here's the thing, Elon, Starbucks has never been free. When people go to Starbucks, they expect to buy a drink for an amount of money. However, Twitter is free. Everyone goes there under the pretense that you don't have to pay for it. That's why we use it. It's there to kill time. Going back to this whole, rate limit exceeded thing, they got rid of the idea, or they upped it, or they got rid of it. Oh, I don't know. Either way, it's just a mess. Elon's Twitter is just the Wild West. People have nothing better to do, or they're so used to Twitter that they just keep coming back to it, even though they hate it. Or in this case, specifically hate Elon. Twitter already is designed to have a kind of who do we hate today kind of dynamic. Everyone turns their judgmental gaze towards one person for a day. Whether it's Colleen Ballinger doing a horrible ukulele apology, Andrew Tate being arrested, or Donald Trump being indicted.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
A social media platform like Twitter is literally designed to create a kind of mob mentality towards someone or something. Every time I open Twitter on my phone, it kind of just feels like, who do we hate today? But now with Elon at the top of the management period, we turn our collective judgmental gaze to him. The rage of the people on the app is pointed towards the app itself. Wow, that's powerful. Solidarity. Elon has a tendency to be a kind of nonchalant kind of businessman. He has a pattern, especially recently, of having ideas that don't really turn out that well. With that in mind, I guess this seems like a good time to bring up the whole X thing. The day after I film this, Elon announces his intention to change Twitter to simply X. It's very annoying because I bring up Twitter a lot in the video and now it's just X. X, the platform for men. So yeah, I filmed this video when Twitter was still called Twitter, and I didn't really want to add this whole little voiceover because I doubt this whole thing is going to last. They're probably going to change it back to Twitter, let's be honest. Well, hopefully anyway, because it's just a bad business decision. You have bought one of the biggest social media platforms with an extremely recognised brand iconography. Like it's in the dictionary at this point. The words tweet and Twitter are in the dictionary. It's a part of public consciousness. And Elon says, nah, I'm going to change that to the most ugly logo that he bought for $30. This is what happens when you surround yourself with a bunch of yes men. In reality, Elon, no one is going to call this app X. That's ridiculously cringe. Oh, just Xing around on X. Oh, have you seen the news that just broke out on X? No. This man is obsessed with having X as his brand. He got let go from PayPal because he wanted to change the name to X. He's been planning it from the start.
Brand X, it's simple and plain. Brand X, it's different but all the same. Brand X.
Honestly, at this point, I'm convinced Elon is actually trying to destroy Twitter on purpose. This is a masterclass on how you destroy a business. To be fair, I hate Twitter so much that honestly, I'm happy to see it burn at this point. That's all I'm going to say about X. I mean, it's not that relevant. Yeah, back to the video. If you take away the vast amount of money that this man has, his life is a series of unfortunate cringe events. The thing is with Elon, he's a very specific subset of cringe. High stakes, expensive cringe. The kind of cringe where a little, oopsie doopsie, Twitter mistake, can cost billions. And we've let this man come to a position where he's leading the Mars mission to save humanity. And he's doing all this thinking he looks like Tony Stark, but really he's serving us, pale goblin, fresh out the cave, realness on the runway. Again, I describe the cringe of Elon as high stakes cringe, because this man is literally the richest man in the world. Just before he took over Twitter, his ex, Grimes, described the entire situation of buying Twitter extremely seriously.
Although I do think there are a lot of issues with Twitter just in terms of like the public mental health. But due to my proximity to the current dramas, I honestly feel that I should not have opinions about this, because if Elon ends up getting Twitter, that is being the arbiter of truth or public discussion. That is a responsibility. I am not qualified to be responsible for that. And I do not want to say something that might like dismantle democracy.
So taking control of Twitter somehow makes you the arbiter of truth and public discussion. That's quite an ordeal. What a job title. That's a lot of responsibility. You know, this comes after moments like Elon high on drugs, tweeting 420 and then having to pay billions because his stock crashed, you know? The arbiter of truth and public discussion. The arbiter of truth and public discussion. Okay, I semi-agree with Grimes' original point. Twitter is a very important platform. Twitter has got to a point where it has a huge impact on the world. We're reliant on Twitter. Politicians spread their messages through Twitter. In many cases, politicians have had to step down because of what they've said on Twitter. There's real world consequences to what you say on Twitter. But here's the thing, none of that can escape from the fact that Twitter is a commodity. Quite an astonishing commodity.
Kinder Surprise Egg. A quite astonishing commodity.
But when Elon makes, the commodity that he's in charge of into a dumpster fire of an app filled with Bitcoin scams and misinformation and bots, people are going to question the commodity. Again, it's high stakes cringe. With a title that is given himself, like arbiter of truth and public discussion, he might as well be a politician. Everybody rise for the arbiter of truth and public discussion. The people are sick of the mask. They want out. But if Twitter really is the digital town square, the epicenter of public discussion that everybody says it is, you can't take that away just because you don't like the CEO. It's a social media phenomenon. The digital town square needs to be moved. What do we do? Who's gonna save us? Who's gonna save us?
The prophecy is true. What if tomorrow the war could be over?
New face filters on Instagram today. This is my favorite one so far. Nice job, team. Nice job, team.
Smoking these beats. Smoking beats earlier in the day. Smoking these beats.
The prophecy is true.
Part 2. The good, the bad, and the Zuckerberg. After Elon's purchase of Twitter in October, employees at Meta, that is Zuckerberg's kingdom, have been working hard on finding a way to fill this gap in the market. And remember, when Elon bought Twitter, he immediately started, shedding employees. They were just going. Either because they resigned or he let them go. It hasn't been easy for Twitter employees. Shout out to them. I'm an employee here at Twitter. I'm currently stuck in the headquarters. I'm having to sleep on the floor because Elon's schedule is so tight. I don't want to sleep on the floor anymore. I had friends that worked with me, but they're all gone. He came in with a sink. I mean, what does it mean? What does it mean? It's not even funny. It's not even clever. Why? I have no idea what's going on. In the meetings, I just nod my head. He keeps talking about free speech, but I don't understand. Oh my god. So since October, just like everyone else, Meta, they have a feeling that everything's about to go wrong at Twitter. They see the smoke rising from the horizon. They gather the fallen Twitter employees like refugees into their kingdom and get them to work on Zuck's master plan. Meta have a history of pumping out social media apps like it's nothing. So a simple text-based app based on Twitter, that's nothing. That's like a month's work. Get it out in a couple months. Test it out on Instagram Notes. Whoa, text on Instagram. Who would have thought? Okay, here's the thing about Zuckerberg. I think he's much better than Elon. And okay, example. Say there is a rise of hate speech and misinformation on your platform. And Zuckerberg is confronted with that. I don't think he has the emotional capacity to see the hate speech as anything other than numbers on a paper, statistics that he has to whittle down. He doesn't really have a nuanced way of thinking about things.
Were there any Facebook people involved in that sharing of technique and information?
Senator, we provided support to the Trump campaign similar to what we provide to any advertiser or campaign.
Yeah, Congresswoman, we see the deal here, and we're really sorry about the 2016 election. We won't do it again. Haha.
Also, it's not in Zuckerberg's character to flat out deny that hate speech and misinformation exists on his platform, because it clearly does. Elon, on the other hand, well,
who's to say that something is misinformation? Who's the arbiter of that?
Well, no, you are the arbiter on Twitter, because you own Twitter.
Yes, I'm saying, who is to say that one person's misinformation is another person's information?
There's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech in the company.
What hate speech are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter.
Right.
Do you see a rise in hate speech? What do you? I don't.
Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
Are you using your own app? Are you okay? Like, do you understand? Maybe it's the use of the N-word skyrocketing the day you become CEO. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Or maybe, it's getting people like Tucker Carlson to do an exclusive show on Twitter. Elon, come on.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. Imagine being a 6th grade boy in the United States right now. What are you hearing at school? What are they telling you on the internet? Well, they're telling you to stop being yourself. Sit still. Stop joking. Suppress your aggression. Share your feelings. Obey. In case it wasn't clear enough, schools around the country have removed urinals from boys' bathrooms. The male body itself is shameful. Sit down when you pee like a good little girl. Views like this are often called feminism.
So yes, I think Mark Zuckerberg is better than Elon. That's my official stance. My name is Joseph Fisher, and I approve this message. But one other thing about Mark Zuckerberg that you need to know is that he has a kind of robotic tendency to copy and paste everything. Like Instagram stories. That wasn't on Instagram before. That used to be a Snapchat thing, and they saw that it worked on Snapchat, so they just grabbed it and worked with it. And now it's just been absorbed into the Instagram brand.
New face filters on Instagram today.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that?
So yeah, after Twitter began to crumble under Elon's command, Meta saw this from afar, and they thought, ooh, a text-based app. That's ours now. Thank you. Usually I'd be annoyed at such a blatant copy and paste, but because I hate Elon so much, I don't mind. Mark, you do that.
Beat Saber has a passionate community.
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
So do I.
You're the chosen one, Mark. Follow your destiny and bring about the Fred's utopia. A new beginning. Bring the former Twitter employees to your side and end this evil reign of tyranny. All that was supposed to happen, in theory. Yeah, Fred's is just like, it's quite stale. I think that's the word, stale. The algorithm on Fred's obviously needs work, But it's not just that, it's also, the overall vibe of Fred's. With Twitter, there's a history, a cultured history. But on Fred's, you have Elon saying, "What's a tree's favourite drink?" Ellen. Silly Ellen. Or my favourite, Carol Vorderman saying, "Morning, my first Fred, cup of tea anyone?" Fred's is dystopian in its own way. I think Fred's perfectly reflects Mark Zuckerberg as a person. Very robotic, like you're being served NPC versions of everything. It's forcing you to look at the Fred's of really basic celebrities.
Ellen, please, no. I'll use Fred's, I swear. Just don't hurt my children.
Threads is still in its early stages of development. You know, there's no desktop version, there's no trending page. But it doesn't matter if you don't like Threads because you can't leave. Did you think you could leave? No. No. What do you mean leave? No, you have to delete your entire Instagram if you want to delete Threads. Zuckerberg has found a way to bundle all the social medias together so that you can't leave. And even though people's interest in Threads has dramatically decreased in the past few weeks, this is still a big gem in Mark Zuckerberg's social media infinity gauntlet. Because Elon and Mark are both billionaires, people will always pick them against each other. And they embraced the meme in the worst possible way. Elon, on June 21st, before Threads was a thing, he tweeted about, being up for a cage fight with Mark Zuckerberg. Please, by all means, fight to the death. The money that you leave behind, we'll enjoy it. This whole situation is very hard to watch as it all unfolds. You've got jokey talks about renting out the Colosseum, for God's sake. Elon proposing a literal dick measuring contest, like the man-child he is. This situation is strange, because these are literally the elite. The people with enough money to just do what they want. They can do anything for fun. Like the immortal gods who had nothing better to do, so they would just indulge in wine and play fight. Mark Zuckerberg owns Elon Musk after stealing Twitter employees to make Threads, and Elon cowers and threatens to sue like a little child. Competition is fine, cheating is not. Wow. Elon, he feels betrayed. Mark, how could you?
Hell yeah.
We must remind ourselves that this is a turf war between two rival companies who both want to be the public discussion app. And sadly, the men who are in charge of these two public discussion apps, they're childish enough to make this a whole public spectacle. You two must duel in the Colosseum for the title of Arbiter of Truth and Public Discussion. It's ridiculous spectacle that's distracting you from what's actually happening here. People like Zuckerberg and Elon, they're making decisions that impact your daily life. Social media has a direct impact on your life, and these are the two men in charge of designing it. I mentioned before how important an app like Twitter can be, but once our choice between leaders gets whittled down to these two, then people are gonna start questioning their relationship to social media in general. I think Gen Z specifically is the generation whose lives are most impacted by social media right now. And as a fellow Gen Z, I'd like to talk you through my experience with another social media app. Let's talk about how much an algorithm can influence somebody's feelings. Hello, my name is Joe, and I'm addicted to the TikTok algorithm. Part 3, TikTok hits different at 3 AM. Imagine it, it's 3 AM, you've had a slow, uninspired day, and you just crave the feeling of watching something else for a bit. You just need to escape. You're done reading Twitter, done scrolling through Instagram, done with Threads. It's now time to scroll through TikTok. You've secluded yourself away from everyone for most of the day, and you're not moving anytime soon, just completely numb. Once you open the app, you're met with inspirational Jim Carrey speech, video of someone sat in their car with slowed down music, mini essays that feel like diary entries. That one video of that woman hitting the wall, I keep seeing this video, it's not even funny anymore. Maya Angelou. Poetry slideshows. Videos of Jeff Buckley singing. The same video of Jeff Buckley, literally back to back. TikTok really wants me to see Jeff Buckley right now. Grass. The age filter. The same man over and over and over and over. This video of the whale.
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
Guinea pig soulmates. Looking out the window. Dogs. Snow, rain, autumn, nostalgia, trees, DJ Khaled.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Yo.
You know, before deciding to quit TikTok for good, this was a daily thing. What the fuck? Is this a normal TikTok feed? I find myself crying at guinea pigs at 3 AM. How can the algorithm make someone feel like this? Like, maybe it's me liking one video of a guinea pig, and then before you know it, I'm being fed all this really depressing stuff. I partly blame myself for the contents of my TikTok feed. I can only imagine the amount of people who are being impacted by the algorithm like this. The way TikTok is designed, there's no limitations to it. It's done this way by design. Like, if you scroll past a video with a specific millisecond of difference, they know. He scrolled past those videos of bottles falling down the stairs too quickly. Stop showing those. Let's pull out the sad Jeff Buckley clips. 3 of them in a row. Literally the same clip. It's also about hooking you in and, you know, keeping you there. Oh, he likes the soap cutting videos. Let's keep showing him soap cutting videos so he doesn't leave. But in my case, it's, oh, this is really depressing, so let's keep him depressed as long as he's scrolling, you know? I recommend this documentary on Netflix, The Social Dilemma. There's so many examples of the small things that you can do that the algorithm picks up on. And it's all by design, you know? It's all designed by a bunch of nerds.
New face filters on Instagram today. This is my favorite one so far.
There's a specific part of the film where the inventor of the like button talks about some of his regrets.
When we were making the like button, our entire motivation was, can we spread positivity and love in the world? The idea that fast forward to today and teens would be getting depressed when they don't have enough likes, or that it could be leading to political polarization, was nowhere on our radar.
I don't think these guys set out to be evil. It's just the business model that has a problem.
So yeah, they wanted to design something that would spread joy throughout the world, and they had no idea that it would lead to such mental health decline. See, before social media took off and became this big thing that it is now, you know, it was little computer nerds with big imaginations at their desks, coding like, we'll put the newsfeed here and the trending page here. But now that society is so reliant on social media, the people that are in charge, they've become like a new species. Computer nerds, but they're arrogant, show-offy, cringy.
Oh, Jesus, sorry. Speaking of mishaps, I just stabbed you.
And going back to my TikTok feed, it just shows like small design in an algorithm can have such a big impact on a huge number of people. You might be asking, how does this have anything to do with Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk? Well, I think as CEOs like Elon keep making poor decisions and they get more attention for those poor decisions, the more people start to think critically about their social media habits and the people that are designing the algorithms. There's right-wing trash on Twitter, and it's all Elon's fault. My Threads feed is just weird, and it's all Zuckerberg's fault. My attention span is frazzled, and I'm depressed, and it's all TikTok's fault. There's genuine feelings here, and it starts with thinking about the people behind the social media. And to wrap up my feelings on Twitter versus Threads, you know, I'm sorry, but Threads isn't as good. It's not as good as Twitter. I hate Elon with a passion, but Threads is just, it's very artificial. It's either Ellen DeGeneres or Tucker Carlson on Twitter.
Sit down when you pee like a good little girl.
That being said, why is a rivalry between social medias transformed into such a cringy display of I don't know what the hell this is. It's awful. I'll just say that. It's two really cringy men just being horrible.
No, get those lights off! Oh!
At the end of the day, people like me, people like you watching this video, we use social media quite a lot. Social media that these men designed for us. My best advice to you, if you find your life consumed with Twitter versus Threads, is to just touch grass. I usually hate it when people say touch grass, because they're always using it in the most annoying way possible. Stop hating on Elon. He's richer than you. Touch grass, you liberal. Touch grass. If you don't understand the term touch grass, it's when one goes outside and feels the sensation of this weird thing that grows through the ground. In this context, I would still say have a relationship with social media. The world revolves around social media, so there's a lot of stuff you'll miss out on if you don't go on social media. Hell, YouTube is a social media, and if YouTube wasn't a thing, I wouldn't be able to do this in front of you now. Don't let the billionaires dictate the way that your day goes. Let social media be a tool for you. Don't be social media's tool. If you hate Elon, which, girl, I get it. You don't worry, I understand. Go ahead, post threads. Get a little kick every time you post something out of spite of that man. And if you're starting to hate your experiences with all social media, coming out of Twitter and being disgusted with the amount of time that you've spent scrolling through discourse, just don't touch it. It's a modern addiction. Addiction sparked by the actions of these men. I started writing the script after a beautiful, secluded camping trip in the country. The woods, nature, rain. Maybe the amount of nature on my TikTok feed is the algorithm's way of telling me to go outside. Because honestly, I've missed my camping trip so much. Give your dopamine receptors, a bit of a break. And if future me is watching this back and you're back on TikTok, you fucking idiot. You fucking fool, what are you doing? Get off TikTok now. It's easy to spend all your time on social media and let Elon Musk, run your life. But just, look at the wood fire. Look at that. The sounds. Stay off TikTok, and if you haven't already, become a member to this channel for exclusive perks and a little place in the credits. I'm done. See you later.